In this video, we're going to discuss the enhancements that have been made to the conditional style client-side property. So previously, this property only applied to dialog controls in the dialog component, but now it's been extended and can also be applied to other control types such as buttons, static text, and hyperlinks. So if we go here and we look at the dialog in run mode, we can see that we have a button over here, and the text of this button has been conditioned on the value in this control. So I go there and I choose A, and you can see it says now the button label now says A. So we've dynamically set the text here, and we've also set the style to be green text. Then we switch to B, and we can see now the button text has been changed, and it says the button label now says B, and we've changed the style to be red with an underline. Then we go to C, and now this is our else condition, because we've just defined conditions for this value equals A and this value equals B, but not other conditions. So let's go now and take a look at how this was done. So if we go over to the button, and we can see that we've defined a conditional style property, and if we look in our property here, we can see that what's been added in addition to the pre-existing class and style options are text and function. So what this means over here, for example, is that if the value in this field DDB1, drop down box 1, is equal to A, then we'd like to set the color to be this green color. I believe it's a green color, and we'd like to turn off the underline. We'd also like to set the button label to say button label now says A. So you can see here we've set our logical condition. Then this is the style that's going to be applied if this logical condition is true, and then this here is the text that's going to be set if this condition is true. And then we can also optionally specify the name of a JavaScript function to call if this expression is true, and this JavaScript function is going to get passed into it Ellie, which is a pointer to the button, to the control that we're defining the conditional style for. So our first style basically was defined there. Then our next condition is drop down box equals B, and then we've defined both the style and the text. And then we didn't define any other conditions, we just defined in effect our else condition. So this condition here is always true, but the way that Alpha 5 evaluates this is it evaluates the first condition, and if that's true, then it applies the rule and then stops evaluating. If this condition is not true, then it tests this condition. If this condition is not true, then it's going to test this condition, and then this condition will always be true. So therefore this is our else condition, and our else condition basically turns off underline, and I think it chooses a purple font, and then sets the text to this is the else condition. So let's go back now and take a look at it working. So currently there's no value in this drop down box, so therefore the else condition is true. Then we go there and choose A, and you can see there's the button text has been set. Now the button text is set for the condition equals B, and then back to our else condition. So now let's take a look at how we can also use the ability to call a function dynamically. So what you can see here is we have some static text over here, and if we look in the static text, we see that all it does is define a div called div1. Then we have a button over here, and when we click this button, we're going to call a function called setDiv1. And if we go look at our function setDiv1, it's simply setting the inner HTML of that div to some text. So if we manually press that button over there, we can see that setDiv1 basically got called. So now let's basically call this function automatically when a condition is true. So let's go back now to the controls, go to this button, and here we're going to go and we're going to call this function when the condition is equal to b. So let's pause now and pick this up in the next video. So we're continuing our discussion on conditional text and functions. So we're going to go now and we're going to go back to this function, and we're going to specify that that we'd like to call this function here. Let's just go back and see its name, called setDiv1. So let's go back there to our controls and then go back to buttons and then set this here to setDiv1. So this is just the name of the JavaScript function, so we don't include the open paren and close paren because it's not actual JavaScript code. It's just the name of a JavaScript function. So we'll go there now and let's see here. So we'll go there and we'll set the value to a, so the function doesn't get called. Now we set the value to b, and we can see that not only did the text over here get set, but since the condition was true where the drop-down box equaled b, we dynamically called the function, and you can see here that that function executed. So now let's also go and see how we can also dynamically set the properties of some static text. So you can see that the third control here is some static text which just says this is some static text. So you can see this is some static text, but let's make this static text here also conditioned based on the value in this drop down box. So I'm going to go to this drop down box over there and edit it, and then I'm going to choose export to export those three conditions. I'm going to copy that to the clipboard, then click OK. Now I'm going to go to this static text over there and go over to conditional style and text, click on the import button, paste, and now so this is going to now import those conditions. So you can see now we've imported those conditions, and what I'll do is I'll just remove that function, and then I'll just say here that change that to just label now says b, and change this to just label now says a. Click OK, click OK again, save this, go to working preview, and you can see now this is that static text now has the else condition. Go and choose A, and so now we've set the static text, and then choose B, and then we've set the static text, and then go back to C, which is our else condition. So you can see now how we basically dynamically defined styling and events for labels and buttons, but this could also equally have applied to other control types on the dialog. So this is a very powerful new addition to the conditional style functionality, the client-side conditional style feature. And I should point out that this functionality is available in both the dialog, as we've shown in this video, but also in the grid component as well. So that means that in the grid you can have static text and buttons whose text and style is based on client-side dynamic expressions. Thank you very much for watching.